In the headline, presidential candidates in last minute push ahead of Saturday's poll. Kwara police parade suspected killer doctor in Ilorin. Pandemonium as explosion rocks Delta community. And on the foreign scene, 6 killed, hundreds injured after new quakes hit Turkey and Syria. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the news in full. But we'll start with politics. The presidential candidate of New Nigeria's People Party, NNPP, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has pledged to build 500,000 classrooms in various primary schools across the country within 4 years. He stated this when he paid a courtesy call on the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bammali, at his palace in Zaria. Kwankwaso, who was accompanied in the visit by the state governorship candidate of the party, Suleiman Hunkuyi, said it was part of the party's manifesto to enhance easy access to elementary education. He boasted that NNPP is the only political party whose presidential candidate has stepped into over 500 local governments in the country by road to get first-hand information on the state of affairs and problems bedeviling each community. Responding, the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bammali, appreciated the visit and prayed for good leadership for the country ahead of the elections. He identified insecurity as the major problem of the people in his domain and the country at large, and urged politicians to make security issues their top priority when voted into power. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has vowed to end unemployment among youth through the provision of skilled labour. Obi stated this when he and his running mate, Yusuf Detti Baba Ahmed, visited the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bammali, at his palace in Zaria. The presidential hopeful said the north boasts of vast fertile land which is not adequately harnessed, and assured that one of his priorities will be to provide the needed support to revive agriculture in the region for self-employment. Earlier, the vice presidential candidate, Yusuf Detti Baba Ahmed, said the visit was a homecoming for him and enjoyed the electorate to massively vote for the party to shift Nigeria from consumption to production nation. Responding, the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bammali, tasked politicians to play the game according to the rule and urged them to sensitize their supporters on the need for a peaceful and hate-free conduct of 2023 election.
First is that we'll start with agriculture. By massive agricultural production will lead to industrialization and basically for export. We'll support agriculture in the true spirit of it, starting by reviving the back of industry and making sure, and then supporting the micro small businesses that are scattered everywhere. Our commitment is to put people out of poverty in the north.
Coming to Zaria is very much appreciated. We know the trouble we've gone through before getting here, so we're indeed very, very grateful for the visit. And we wish you every success in endeavor. And we pray, for a very peaceful election. And we keep praying that God will come, to rescue, the situation.
Also in politics, presidential candidate of the Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, Dan Wanyao, has promised to run an all-inclusive government if elected president. The ZLP presidential candidate stated this at a campaign town hall meeting in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in the report as presented from our studio.
Addressing the gathering, The Zenith Labour Party presidential candidate Dan Nwanyao said if Nigerians elect the party at the presidential election, the style of governance will be all-inclusive, as everybody will be given the opportunity to contribute to the success of the administration.
No Nigerian will be left in our government. Everybody, people like you that are educated, you will be given something to do. If you don't have skills, we will let you have skills, even for those who are not educated. It is not everybody that will get PhD. It's not everybody that will be a graduate. Myself, I don't be a professor. But for those that went to school, they'll be given an opportunity to work. Those that want to go into business, if you look at our manifesto, we have provision for them. Those who could not go to school, we provide them skills. Everybody must have something to do.
He said allowing participation of all in governance of the nation will help cut the activities of few Nigerians who use the instrumentality of power to siphon the country's resources and are sure of boosting the state's mineral sector for the benefit of all.
Nasarawa will not just be a place for solid minerals by mouth. We will bring it into fruition. We will create jobs. We will make this place more stable. From power to being a state that can even produce on their own. You will answer state of solid minerals. Am I correct? That's what you answer. Where are the solid minerals? We are going to bring them out, turn them into dollars for the development of the state.
While promising to make sure that the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, does not exceed 100 naira per litre, the ZLP presidential candidate expressed support for the recent naira redesign policy of President Muhammadu Buhari. He pleaded with Nigerians to be patient with the policy as it means well for the nation's economy.
The permanent voter card is an instrument that enables eligible voters exercise their civic and democratic right to elect leaders in an election. In this report, Trust TV Shafir Suleiman examines the potency of PVC as a powerful tool that voters hold to hire and fire political leaders, thereby enhancing and strengthening democratic governance in Nigeria.
According to Collins English Dictionary, voter card is the instrument that enables a person to register to vote in an election. There is an existing notion that what a weapon does to a soldier in the front line or a plug to a farmer is akin to what a voter card does to an electorate. In Nigeria, there is what is termed as permanent voter card (PVC), which, like in the general definition, enables registered voters exercise their civic right to vote in the general elections.
The PVC is the power that every man has. When you have your PVC, you will vote for whosoever you want to vote for.
Because vote is our power. We actually needed to do that because this time around we want to take the power by our hands.
Considered the strongest instrument to elect leaders in any democracy, the current permanent voter card replaced what is then known as temporary voter card in use, in line with ongoing transformation of the electoral process. It began with the introduction of smart card reader by the Tahiru Jega-led INEC and deepened by the introduction of bimodal voter accreditation system, otherwise known as VBAS, by the current election management body.
It should be accessible. All you need to do to go to a computer, fill your local government, fill your details, 1 or 2 details inside the PVC. Put it in, you understand? If there is a level, there is a way you can sign in computers, then you put it in.
INEC should try to make it more liberal, not in one small office where thousands of people will be gathered. They should make it more liberal, open more centers.
Because of the way things go in this country, many people that are supposed to go out there and even register in the first place, they are hindered, they have their reservation that they are reluctant, they don't want to be pushed here and there, especially the elderly.
These transformations have over time built the confidence of the electorates and tackled the traditional challenges of ballot snatching, stuffing that have characterized previous exercises. Though imagined challenge of vote trading by desperate politicians and poverty-stricken electorate poses a great threat to the impact of the voters' card in the enthronement of credible leadership. Notwithstanding, the potency and impact of voter card to an eligible voter cannot be toyed with, especially in the face of growing credible leadership question. Shapir Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now in security, the Kwara State Police Command has paraded the suspected medical doctor accused of killing 5 people within Kwara and Edo states. The doctor, who was also accused of belonging to syndicates specializing in organ harvesting, having confessed, however, denied killing anyone, saying he was forced to give statements indicting himself during interrogation. The report.
Dr. Abbas Adio Adeyemi, who was the medical director of Kaima General Hospital in Kwara State, and is accused of being involved in the killing of 5 people within Kwara and Edo states. According to the Kwara State Commissioner of Police, the suspect has confessed to the killings and will soon be charged to court, an accusation vehemently denied by the suspect.
While the investigation was ongoing on the missing lady, a case of culpable homicide was reported at Alapa Police Station to the effect that a lifeless body of a young, unknown lady was found in the bush beside the road with a violent mark of injury on her head and blood on her face. Investigation, however, revealed that the missing Abiku, which was reported missing at F Division, was the same young lady killed and thrown into the bush at Alapa.
I didn't commit any murder. Wait, you see, the CP has made some very serious allegations, and I will only respond to the ones I can remember.
On whether or not the police will secure judgment against the accused, the police boss says they have concrete evidence organ harvesting against the suspect.
It is the duty of the police to investigate and prosecute, not to persecute. And the law says you can only be guilty if you have been proved by the court. So we'll do whatever we can do. We are not here to persecute him, but only to prosecute him.
According to them, I made a confession on live television. That confession was extracted from me by force.
The suspect, who denies the allegations, insists that whatever statements he made against himself were under duress.
Osun State Police have arrested 7 men for allegedly housebreaking and phone theft in Oshogbo, the state capital. The suspects, who were paraded at the police headquarters in Oshogbo, confessed to the crime. The incidents of phone snatching by hoodlums and phone theft by burglars were rampant in Osun State. The new commissioner of police in the state, Kehinde Long, assured residents that the menace would be curtailed. The efforts of police yielded positive results with the arrest of these suspects, who confessed to their involvement in phone theft. There is serious tension in Eforun as a gas plant along Eforun Sapele Road in Ove Local Government Council area of Delta State exploded into flames. Daily Trust gathered that several adjoining houses have been affected by the fire. It was reported that firefighters were called immediately to tackle the fire, but had gotten to out of control. And also, according to eyewitness reports, the fire erupted at 10:30 p.m. yesterday, and the number of casualties, if any, and the cause of the explosion are yet to be determined. Meanwhile, residents are calling on government to bring urgent help to the injured victims. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll bring you how or what hurdles brown sugar producers face. Details on this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Nigeria, now we country. APC, not the party. Now, one man be a choice. At last, the elections are here. Let's turn out en masse on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria for a renewed hope and a better Nigeria. Vote APC, the party that shows a broom.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. And here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you presidential candidates in last-minute push ahead of Saturday's polls. And Kwara police parade suspected killer doctor in Ilorin. Now moving on to more stories. A coalition of civil society organizations is alleging that the events that followed the Naira redesigned policy in the last few weeks appeared to be an orchestrated of a political template aimed to undermine the very foundation of the nation's existence. The coalition stated this at a press conference in Abuja. Mardia Omar reports.
The press conference is to address some challenges that came with the Naira redesign policy as its faulty implementation by the government continues to explore ordinary Nigerians to more hardship.
It needs to be emphasized that the Naira redesign exercise has exposed the poor thinking in implementation, resulting in avoidable scarcity of the redesigned denominations of the currency, 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes respectively.
They are worried that some governors have chosen to seize the moment to pursue their agenda while claiming to act in the interests of the people.
Nigerians should not be deceived by these people who have no regard and respect for the rule of law. Many of them have continued to disobey court order ending in their state. Many of them, they are so intolerant that a simple criticism of their policy will land some young people into jail. They've been doing that. So therefore, as far as we are concerned, they cannot come and deceive Nigerians. However, we believe as responsible, patriotic Nigerians, we have every duty to ensure that Nigerians are not, punished as a result of the anti-people policies of this country.
This is a clear deception. There may be a hidden agenda somewhere which we don't want to play into. We don't want to give them that grant because at the end of the day, they will still be the beneficiaries. We know what happened. Look at the trajectory from the military to now. So that is why we are careful. We choose the fight we want to fight.
To safeguard democracy and protect the working and living conditions of the masses, the groups made some demands.
The federal government has said that a few governors and other politicians are keeping billions of old Naira notes in well-known places. Instead of imposing collective punishment on hapless Nigerians, the federal government should direct security and anti-graft agencies to remove the sums of money allegedly kept in the homes and offices of the few politicians. Instead of putting
hundreds of millions of Nigerians into discomfort. For us, it is unacceptable and we hereby condemn it.
The call on the presidency to uphold the rule of law and to avoid taking steps that will undermine the system of separation of powers among the three arms of government. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in production, brown sugar production, locally known as Mazar Kwaila, is a lucrative business in Kaduna State and parts of northern Nigeria. The production of brown sugar thrives largely in the rural communities. The business is suffering from lack of modern production machines. In this special report, Trust TV's Bello Musa spent time with brown sugar production communities living between Kaduna and Katsina states who lament lack of modern farm inputs and non-support from government to improve sugarcane production to support their business.
These are communities located in Kaduna, bordering Katsina State. Their main occupation is farming. Sugarcane is one of the major farm produce grown around here. Production of Mazar Kwaila, which is made from sugarcane, has been a lucrative business for these communities for decades. In the past, they used hose to go round and in the process squeeze the sugarcane to produce the liquid for brown sugar or Mazar Kwaila production. But now, motorcycles have taken over from hose as it goes round the machine to squeeze the sugarcane and extract the liquid. Buhari Usman and Magaji Abba have been in the production of Mazar Kwaila for over a decade. We used to call sugar rawandoki, but now we are using machine to squeeze the sugar cane. We plant it here on the farm during dry season, and when the sugar cane is ripe, we bring our machine to the farm and start the production. Boiling the liquid is a critical stage of the Mazar Kwaila production, and producers said the business is paying them. We have recorded success in the Mazar Kwaila production. We got married from this business and take care of my children and pay their school fees. We have migrated from using horse to motorcycles. This is a great achievement. On daily basis, they produce 5 of these pots due to non-availability of modern machine to squeeze the sugar cane to extract the liquid. Our machines are old. We inherited them from our fathers. Besides, we have to take them to Zaria or Kaduna for repairs when they develop faults. Our ambition is to buy modern machine for the production of sugar, but we don't rely on government. It takes 15 to 29 minutes on motorcycles from the main road to these communities, but people come from far and near to buy Mazar Kwaila. We sell the brown sugar at Danja, Bakori in Katsina, and Kaduna State, as well as other locations in Nigeria. This species of this sugar cane is planted in the rainy season and harvested during dry season. With the fertile land and the commitment of the farmers here, they could do more if only provided with fertilizer and dam for irrigation farming. Fertilizer is costly this year. We bought a bag at 25,000 naira, and we need a dam to allow us to grow sugar cane throughout the year. Zage-zage, Yakaji, Unguwar Sambo, Fankaw and other communities on Katsina-Kaduna boundaries are sugarcane farmers and brown sugar producers. They said if provided with modern farm input and other supportive implement, they could not only produce sugarcane for the brown sugar, but for the sugar industry in Nigeria. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
And now from the foreign scene, rescuers are once again searching for people trapped under rubble in Turkey after another earthquake hit the country, killing at least 6 people. A 6.4 magnitude tremor struck near the city of Antakya, near the border with Syria, where massive quakes devastated both countries on February 6th. The earlier quakes killed 44,000 people in Turkey and Syria, with tens of thousands more left homeless. Buildings weakened by those tremors collapsed in both countries on Monday. Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Agency says the 6.4 earthquake occurred at 20.04 local time, 17.04 GMT at a depth of 10 kilometers, about 6.2 miles. This was followed by a 5.8 aftershock 3 minutes later and 31 subsequent aftershocks that were not as severe. The health minister, Ahrettin Koca, said 294 people have been injured, 18 of them seriously. It thought the death toll has been relatively low this time because the earthquake struck in an area that was largely empty after it was badly hit by the February 6th quake. Reports from the city of Antakya spoke of fear and panic in the streets as ambulances and rescue crews tried to reach the worst affected areas where the walls of badly damaged buildings had collapsed. Also on the disaster news, a baby born under the rubble of a collapsed building in Syria and the only member of her immediate family to survive a massive earthquake has been adopted by her aunt and uncle. Thousands of people had offered to adopt the newborn, who was still connected to her mother by her umbilical cord when she was rescued. She was discharged from hospital after a DNA test confirmed her aunt was a blood relative. Doctors said she was in good health. The baby has now been named after her late mother, Afra. Shortly after she was rescued, officials had named her Aya, which means miracle in Arabic. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.